What's up, everybody? MagicRacingNews.com here with 5 big myths about the Preakness Stakes that you need to know before you place any bets. This could really help you turn the corner and make a big profit at the Preakness Stakes on Saturday. Myth number 1, the first thing you'll hear anybody tell you is that Pimlico has tight turns and that means that it's speed favoring. Well, the reason for that, number 1, if you talk to track superintendents or jockeys, they'll tell you the reason it feels that way because the Churchill turns where they just raced 2 weeks ago in the Kentucky Derby, there's a lot more banking to it. Pimlico is a pretty flat track comparatively. Also, compared to that, if you talk to the track superintendents, they'll tell you that the crown of the track at Pimlico is only about 5 lengths out, whereas at Churchill Downs is about 10 lengths out. And what that means is that if you're trying to go 10 wide at Churchill, you're still riding the banking. If you do that at Pimlico, you're going uphill facing the other banking. So you don't want to get stuck going really wide, especially in the far turn on the dirt at Pimlico. Also, according to Donna Brothers, she said that around the 3/8 pole, that track gets really narrow, and because of that, it feels like the turn is getting tighter. But as far as the actual radius goes, pretty comparable to Churchill Downs from what we've heard. Preakness myth number 2. Closers can't win the Preakness Stakes. Well, since 1982, 17 winners were either 5th or farther back at the opening half-mile call. That includes champions like Fleet Alex, Curlin, Swiss Skydiver, and of course Rombauer in 2021. Only 5 horses have wired the Preakness Stakes since 1982, although 4 of those did happen in the last 14 years. And 2 of those, well, they're Triple Crown champions. Justify did it, American Pharoah did it, Oxbow did it, Rachel Alexander did it, and of course Louis Quatorze did it. Those 5 horses, they're the ones that have been able to do it. Are you a Triple Crown champion? Well, maybe. Then you can go ahead and wire the Preakness. Otherwise, if you're a closer, you've got a good shot. Preakness myth number 3. Second place from the Derby is a good bet back. If you're a fan of Epicenter in the Preakness Stakes, you're not going to like this fact. There have been 24 Kentucky Derby winners who've captured the Preakness Stakes since 1960, but in that same period of time, only 4 times the runner-up has got it done. Exaggerator was the last to do it in 2016 when he beat Nyquist. And actually, Derby runner-ups in the Preakness Stakes since 1960, check out this stat line: 43 attempts, 4 wins, 12 seconds, 9 thirds. Not exactly a ringing endorsement if you're a fan of an Epicenter going into this race. Preakness myth number 4. Horses off the board in the Derby stand no chance in the Preakness Stakes. Since 1984, there have actually been 11 winners of the Preakness Stakes who were 5th or worse in the Kentucky Derby. The last horse to do that was War of Will in 2019 when he was 7th. Unlike the Derby, when if you were 5th or worse going into the Derby, no horses won since 1957, the Preakness is a lot more forgiving. And finally, Preakness myth number 5. New shooters don't stand a chance in the Preakness Stakes. Actually, 3 of the last Preakness Stakes winners didn't even run in the Kentucky Derby. Rombauer, he was 3rd in the Lexington before winning the Preakness Stakes last year. Swiss Skydiver beat the boys in 2020 after being 2nd in the Kentucky Oaks, and Cloud Computing did it in 2017. And I want to focus on him for a sec here because he's drawing a lot of comparisons to early voting who's a contender for this year's Preakness Stakes. Both horses trained by Chad Brown, both horses owned by Kalleward Stables, both horses broke their maidens on debut at Aqueduct, both horses lost the Wood Memorial in start number 3, both horses qualified for the Kentucky Derby based on points but decided to skip it and aim for the Preakness Stakes. It worked out really well in 2017 with Cloud Computing. Chad Brown had Zandon finish a very respectable 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. Zandon is not going to the Preakness Stakes. Early voting is. To me, this is a big sign that early voting stands a very strong chance in the Preakness Stakes. And as far as new shooters go, most years there is at least one new shooter in the top 3 making up the trifecta. In fact, of the last 32 Preakness Stakes, 26 of them had at least one non-Kentucky Derby horse in the trifecta, and 3 times since 2015, 2 of the 3 horses in the trifecta for the Preakness Stakes did not run in the Kentucky Derby. So if you're looking to play horses that are not coming from the Kentucky Derby but are going to be fresh, history says this is an angle that you really want to play. What do you think? What are some myths about Preakness Stakes or about Pimlico that you believe or you think should be debunked? Let me know down in the comments section. Maybe I'll make another video about it. Hit like if you like the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got full coverage of the Preakness Stakes coming all week to you, including coverage of the draw Monday afternoon right here live on the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. We'll see you over at RacingDudes.com. Click like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you at the track.